Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video we are going to continue science midterm examination previous year question paper key answers. So in the previous video we have solved up to question number 30th. Now let us continue from 31st question. So let us see what is that 31st question. It is a 3 marks question. The 3 marks question, that is the potential difference between the terminals of an electric heater is 80 volts when it draws a current of 5 ampere from the source. What current will the heater draw if the potential difference is increased to 160 volts? So 80 volts ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಪಿ ಡಿ 5 ಆಂಪರ್ನಷ್ಟು ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಡ್ರಾ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಈಗ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ 80 ವೋಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜನ್ನು 160 ವೋಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ what will be the current that heater draw? That we have to calculate now. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋಂತಹ ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜು ಮತ್ತು ಕರೆಂಟನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಸೊ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಿವನ್ ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 80 volts, then current is equal to 5 ampere anta kottiyane. First let us find out the resistance of the heater. So according to Ohm's law, R is equal to V by I. R is equal to V andre 80 divided by I andre 5. 5 ones are 5 16s. So R is equal to 16 ohms bantu. This is what the resistance drawn by the heater when it connected to a 80 volts potential difference battery, and when it draws a current of 5 ampere. Now let us find out, let us make a list. R is equal to 16 ohm, this is the circuit resistance. Then voltage has been increased from 80 volts to 160 volts. Now that is volts is equal to 160 volts. Now we have to calculate the current. So according to Ohm's law, I is equal to V by R. So I is equal to V andre 160 divided by R andre 16. 16 ones are 16 tens. So I is equal to, so it will be equal to 10 ampere. So the current that flows through the circuit when voltage has been increased from 80 volts to 160 volts. ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಕರೆಂಟನ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇದೆ. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ದಟ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಆ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಾವೀಗ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಸೊ ಆ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಹೀಗಿದೆ. ಆನ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ರೆಫ್ರಿಜರೇಟರ್ ರೇಟೆಡ್ 200 ವ್ಯಾಟ್ ಆಪರೇಟ್ 6 hours ಡೇ. ಒಂದು ರೆಫ್ರಿಜರೇಟರ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದರ ಪವರು 200 ವ್ಯಾಟು, 6 hours per ಡೇ ಆಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. What is the cost of the energy to operate it for 30 days at rupees 4 per kilowatt hour? 1 ಕಿಲೋವ್ಯಾಟ್ ಅವರ್ಗೆ 4 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಆದರೆ ಅಂದರೆ 30 ದಿವಸದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಎನರ್ಜಿ, ಆ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಏನು ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಾಸ್ಟನ್ನು ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅಂದರೆ ಬಿಲ್ಲನ್ನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿಯೇನೆ. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟು ವಾಟ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಿವನ್, ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಇಟ್. So they have given power which is equal to 200 watt, and time is given as 6 hours per day. Then what they have given, number of days given which is equal to 30 days. Now we have to calculate what is the energy consumed by it in 30 days. So hagadre, so energy is equal to N into P into T. So energy consumed is equal to number of days 30 days into power 200 into time 6. So that is equal to, so 3 2s are 6, 6 6 are 36. So 36 1 2 3. Here 1 0 is there, here 2 0 is there, total 3 zeros. So 36,000 watt hour ಆಯಿತು. So this is the energy. So ಇದನ್ನು ಕಿಲೋವ್ಯಾಟ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. So to convert it into kilowatt hour, 36,000 should be divided by 1000. So 3030 cancel ಆಯಿತು. So energy consumed in kilowatt hour is equal to 36 kilowatt hour. So 36 kilowatt hour total energy consumed by the refrigerator. So what is the cost of 1 kilowatt hour? So cost of 1 kilowatt hour is equal to rupees 4. Therefore, cost of how many kilowatt hours? So cost of 36 kilowatt hour is equal to dash rupees. So to calculate that one, 36 should be multiplied by 4. 4 6 are 24. Then 4 3s are 12, 14. So what is the cost? 144 rupees. So 144 rupees is the cost for 36 units or 36 kilowatt hour. So like this we have to answer this question. So now let us move for the 32nd question. Draw a neat labeled diagram of an electric generator. So electric generator the neat label diagram na ಬರಿಬೇಕು. So ಇದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ next let us move for 33rd question. ಅದರೊಳಗೆ 2 questions ಇದೆ. Nowadays it is better to use CFC refrigerator. Why? So ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದಾನೆ. Let us answer 33A. So we have to use CFC refrigerator because if CFC is released, it damages ozone layer, which is a protective layer which protects us from harmful radiation coming from the sun. Harmful radiation coming from the sun. So because CFC is released, it damages ozone layer, which is a protective layer which protects us from harmful radiation coming from the sun. So this is for A question. Now let us move for B question. We generally do not clean ponds or lakes, but the aquarium need to be cleaned frequently. Why ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದಾನೆ. Because ponds or lakes has large number of decomposers, that is bacteria, which decomposes wastes and keeps the ponds or lakes clean. But aquarium as a few decomposers, so it should be cleaned regularly. So this is the answer for question number 33. So now let us move for question number 34. That is, it is a 4 marks question. That is, Mahesh came across the following doubts while observing an aquarium. Clarify his doubt with proper reasons. So now let us answer question number 34. It is question number 34. It is a 4 marks question. So now let us answer question number 34. It is A. Fish opens and closes their mouth frequently ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ. Fish open and closes their mouth very frequently because it will respire because it will respire through its mouth, because it will respire through its mouth. So because it will respire through its, that is ಹೀಗೆ ಬರೆಯೋಣ, because thereby forcing the surrounding water, thereby forcing the surrounding water to enter their body and to absorb dissolved oxygen when water passes through the gills ಮೂಲಕ ವಾಟರ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆದಾಗ, ಸೊ ವಾಟರ್ನಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಡಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ಡ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ನ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಓಪನ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೌತ್ and close its mouth frequently. Fish respire fastly than mammals. Why? Because the amount of dissolved oxygen in water is less when compared to oxygen present in atmosphere. So this is the answer for B. So now let us move for C question. Which is the respiratory organ in fish? So the respiratory organ in fish is gills. So gills is the respiratory organ in fish. So now let us move for 35th question. That is, what do you mean by magnetic lines of force? Write any two properties. So what is meant by magnetic lines of force and any two properties? So magnetic lines of force are an imaginary line that represents the direction and strength of magnetic field. So magnetic field strength ಮತ್ತೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡುವ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನರಿ ಲೈನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇದು ಒಂದು. ಇದರ ಎರಡು ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಬರೆಯೋಣ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ನೆವರ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಸೆಕ್ಟ್, ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ will never intersect each other. Second one, it is a magnetic field line it is a continuous closed loop. So these are the two that is properties of magnetic field lines. Then what is the function of an earth wire? Why is it necessary to earth metallic appliances anta ide. So let us answer the B question. So that is, what is the function of an earth wire? So if any leakage current or excess current when flows through the metallic appliances, a person who touches it may get electric shock. So earthing will create a path for the flow of leakage current. By this, the person is safe from electric shock. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸಬ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇದೆ. Why is it necessary to earth metallic appliances? Because if it is connected to earthing, it acts as a safety device. By which a person is safe from getting electric shock. So this is the answer for, so that is B question. So now let us move for question number 36. Draw a neat diagram of human heart and label the following parts. Aorta, which is the biggest artery, and left ventricle. Next, let us move for the 7th question. That is, explain reflex action with an example. Write the differences between walking and reflex action. Or for that one more internal choice question is there. Phototropism, hydrotropism, geotropism, chemotropism. We have to explain the following movements in plants. So now first let us answer. Explain the reflex action with an example. So let us explain the reflex action with an example. So this is 37th question. So a quick, sudden and immediate response to stimuli. A quick, sudden and immediate response to stimuli is called reflex action. The pathway for reflex action is called reflex arc. So now let us take an example. So on the example na ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. So when we touch a hot object. So when we touch a hot object, so here let us trace one sequence. Stimulus, here hot object is the stimulus. When this stimulus is touched by the sense organ, that is our skin will sense the hot, and this sense organ will sense that the object is hot, and this information will be carried from sense organ by sensory neuron. The sensory neuron will carry the information to spinal cord. Spinal cord will give the information to motor neuron. Motor neuron will give the information to effectors. Effectors is muscles of hand, and this effector will gives a response, and that response will be withdraw back and withdraw back and. So withdraw off or withdrawing the and back. Withdraw and back. So ಕೈನ ಹಿಂದಕ್ಕೆ ತೆಕ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ಸೊ ಆರ್ಟ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ನ ಮುಟ್ಟೋದು ಸ್ಟಿಮ್ಯುಲಸ್, ಕೈನ ಹಿಂದಕ್ಕೆ ತೆಕ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸು. ಸೊ ಇದು ಎನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಷನ್. ಸೊ ಇದೊಂದು ಪಾತು, ಈ ಪಾತ್ಗೆ ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ಕ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೆಯೋಣ. ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿ ನಡೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಕ್ವಿಕ್ ಸಡನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಿಮುಲಿ. A quick, sudden and immediate response to stimuli is called as reflex action, and the pathway for the reflex action is called reflex arc. So stimulus, art object, is sensed by sense organ. The receptors of the sense organ will give the information to sensory neuron. Sensory neuron will give the information to spinal cord. Spinal cord will give the information to motor neuron. Motor neuron will give the information to effectors, that is muscles of hand, and the effectors will give response, that is withdraw back and back. Now let us differentiate between walking, ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ಎರಡನೇ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇದೆ, ವಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ us differentiate between walking and reflex action. It is controlled by walking. It is controlled by brain. Walking is controlled by brain. Reflex action, it is controlled by spinal cord. Then it takes place, walking, it takes place slowly, but reflex action, it takes place quickly. It takes place quickly. So these are the differences between walking and reflex action. So ಇದು 37th A ಕ್ವಶನ್, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. 37th ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇನ್ನೂ ಒಂದು ಆಪ್ಷನಲ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇದೆ, ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್, ಅದನ್ನು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ದಿ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್. ಮೊದಲನೇದು ಫೋಟೋಟ್ರೋಪಿಸಮ್. ಫೋಟೋಟ್ರೋಪಿಸಮ್. So what is phototropism? The movement of a plant body, the movement of a plant body in response to light. Example, movement of stem towards light. Then second one, they have given hydrotropism. Hydrotropism. The movement of a plant body in response to water. Example, movement of a plant body in response to water. Example, movement of root towards water. Next type of that is for tropism is Geotropism. The movement of a plant body in response to gravity of the earth. In response to gravity of the earth. Example, movement of root towards gravity of the earth. Next, chemotropism. The movement of a plant body in response to chemicals. Example, movement of pollen tube towards ovule. So these are the four type of, that is tropism. So now let us move for the next question, that is the last question of this paper, that is list out the different types of chemical reaction and give an example each. Second one, oil and fat containing food items are flushed with nitrogen. Why anta ide. List out the different types of chemical reactions and give an example each anta ide. So let us answer the last question, that is 38th question. So the first one is combination reaction. A reaction in which two or more reactant combine to form a single product. So C plus O2 give rise to CO2. Next, second one, decomposition reaction. A reaction in which a single reactant decomposes to form two or more products. Example, 2FeSO4, when it is heated, it forms Fe2O3 plus SO2 plus SO3. Displacement reaction. A reaction in which more reactive element displaces less reactive element. More reactive element displaces less reactive element. So let us take an example. So Zn plus CuSO4 give rise to ZnSO4 plus Cu deposited. So it is an example for displacement reaction. Next, fourth one, double displacement reaction. Double displacement reaction. A reaction in which there is a exchange of ions. There is an exchange of ions between reactants to form to form a new compound. So now let us take an example for double displacement. It is also called as precipitation reaction. So Na2SO4 plus BaCl2 give rise to BaSO4 plus 2NaCl. Next, exothermic reaction. A reaction in which reaction in which energy is released. Reaction in which energy is released. CaO plus H2O give rise to Ca OH taken twice plus heat. Then sixth one, endothermic reaction. A reaction in which energy is absorbed. Example, 2Pb NO3 taken twice give rise to 2PbO plus 4NO2 plus O2. When it is heated, it absorbs heat energy. Then seventh one, oxidation reaction. A reaction in which gaining of oxygen or removal of hydrogen. Example, C plus O2 give rise to CO2. Next, after seventh, next oxidation admele. So eighth one, reduction reaction. A reaction in which there is gaining of hydrogen or losing of oxygen. Example, CuO plus H2 give rise to Cu plus H2O. Then redox reaction. A reaction in which both oxidation and reduction takes place simultaneously. Example, ZnO plus H2 give rise to Zn plus H2O. So these are the types of chemical reactions. ಅದರೊಳಗೆ B ಒಂದಿದೆ. Oil and fat containing food items are flushed with nitrogen. Why? Because to avoid rancidity or because to avoid oxidation. So these are the questions that we have answered in paper number 2. So in the next video we are going for paper number 3, that is MCQ and 1 marks question. Till then, thank you very much.